Okay, welcome to the ProFrame 2015 training videos. In this video, I'm going to discuss the basic concept of our program and how it works and how to edit records, how to save records, and how to get around in the system. So let's get started. Again, I'm going to start from the desktop. And I'm going to go ahead and continue with trial offer if that's the case. Otherwise, you wouldn't stop at that screen. Username's admin. And the password is admin, all lowercase. I'm going to go ahead and log in to the main warehouse. Let's take a look first at the catalog. Okay? This particular catalog, because this is the way I did it, you could do it any way you want to, but essentially we have main catalog sets. We got molding, we got mats, glass, foam board, ready-mades, and supplies. Now if I double click my molding up here, I get into the sub catalogs of my molding. In this case I have wood and I have metal, fillet, and liner. Okay, if I went to my mats, I would have, now in the real world I'm going to have tons of mats. There'll be a whole lot of sub mat catalogs. For this training video and samples, I'm just using very few, but you can see I've got mats, alpha mat, and I've got acid mat or acid free, and then glass. And again, I've got simple things here, but you would have many more than what I have here. So you kind of get the idea. Foam board, I can set up sub catalogs. Now the way that works in the system, just to back out and real quickly go to inventory and just pull up I'm just going to pull up a mat board inventory item and show you that here's where I've assigned this product to a mat, to a catalog. Okay, and I did that by just simply typing in the number. Now if I didn't know the number, obviously the system's not going to find it, so it's going to let me, it's going to display it so that I can find it and assign it to that mat. I think it was 101, I think. But anyway, that's what I've done. Now, it's true for the vendor, okay? Same thing's true for the vendor. If I need it, if I don't know the vendor, then I can go find it and double click it and pull it in. So I've got the catalog is being assigned to this product, and that vendor is being assigned to this product, okay? And in talking about the vendor, let's jump to the vendor file. Okay, that's all I'm doing is just setting up vendors, okay? All right, and that's where my vendors are coming from. Now the reason I want to do that is because if I go to run reports, for example, and I wanted to look at sales orders, see how I can enter, well this is, actually this is a little bit different. That's not the one I want to show you. Let's look at the inventory, for example. If I were doing inventory, I can enter a vendor number here, okay, and pick out a particular vendor, and I can also, break it down to a catalog. So again, I can come in and select all the way down to the sub of that catalog, okay. I could have stopped at the main level instead of breaking it down by alpha mat. See, I could have just stopped by selecting, or really going to the bottom of the screen and just selecting mats. So now I'm just interested in mats, so I don't care what the sub is. So you can see how the system is built around the catalog file and your vendor file, okay? This is the same way that discounting works as well. And so if I went into my discounts, and I had a discount class. I've got three kinds: discount class, global, and then on sale. Just to show you quickly that this is how it works in a discounting structure as well. So you can see this discount is based on that vendor, okay? It's based on that vendor, and it's based on mats, but it's breaking it all the way down to the 101 alpha mat. So now I can set up discount structures up to 5 levels for that product line. Okay? Now, if you've ever worked with discounting at all, I mean, this screen, you should get a good indication now that you can set up. It's unlimited to the discounting structures that you can set up and be able to then assign, in this case, I can assign customers to a discount class. So I got 3 types of discount: a discount class, a global discount, which is almost, well, it's global. It doesn't matter. Any customer would get that global discount. And then, of course, I have an on-sale discount that can run, and I'm going to have another video for that will break that down deeper. But what I wanted to show you was how the catalog ties in with discounting, how it ties in with reporting, okay? And also, for example, if I wanted to go in and export inventory, let's say you wanted to export some stuff out to a spreadsheet for retail software vendors out there, then as you can see, I've got a class, vendor number, catalog, so I can still use my vendor and catalog to be able to export certain items out and be able to share it through a spreadsheet. So you can see how the catalog works with that. Okay? So to get around in the system a little bit, that's more or less kind of discussing the catalog and discounting. I'll do that in another video. Lookup tables. I mean, I've got departments where I can set up departments. And when I make a sale, I can assign something to a department. In this case, let's say I created a work order and it was basically designed pretty much for the frame room, then I could pretty much, assign that work ticket to the frame room. I got a salesman file. I got territory file that I can set up and move around in. And if I wanted to edit this guy, I just double click it. And then I would press the tab key, and then I would, the space bar would trigger the checkbox on or off. And then, and of course I don't, then I just click apply. If I want to save all the changes, I would. And, so I would need to click save all in order to actually save those changes back to the database. I'm just going to pull up, let's see what else we can look at. Here's my warehouse setup. This is where I can set up the warehouse, set up my, account numbers, my ship to numbers, vendor numbers, and work order numbers and such. And also set up sales tax. And I've got a lot of options I can turn on or off. Then I can assign different styles of work order tickets. We have 3 styles to choose from. Styles 2 and 3 prints a logo. Well, actually it don't on work tickets, but on invoices, style 2 and 3 would print your logo. If you happen to have one, we could get your logo on it. And as statements as well. This is where you set up your chop size label, whether it's a 4x2 or 4x3 or it's a 1.5. And the same thing with shipping labels. Okay, so that's pretty basic stuff here. And then I would set up a default purchase order ship to address, which is usually you. And that's where you're in purchase orders. That's where it's going to default to ship the products to. That's just the basic stuff at this point on that, okay? So we'll just get out of that. Let's see, we got utilities. We got, again, I kind of showed you export inventory. We have a quick inventory that allows you to move through inventory very quickly. And there's a lot of sort catalogs, a lot of filtering features, there's a lot of features here to allow you to be able to go through and adjust your own hand quantities and things like that, adjust your pricing on an individual basis, if you will. So it's kind of a neat little program. There'll be another video that will go into that in more detail. But let me go back to, we got our catalog, we got our discount structure tables, we got our chart tables, we got United Inches. See how I can go in and manipulate and change my United Inches chart to fit whatever style or whatever you want to do. This would be a 10-inch, and this would be for your 1/4-inch molding, 3/8-inch molding, and so forth. Okay, you following that? 18 inches, United Inches, and if it was 1 3/4-inch molding, then it basically is a 4.30 footage. Okay, so you can see how you can manipulate that as you need it. It's pretty much standard already to what most people use in a United Inches chart, but you can manipulate it if you need to. Let's look at the other one. There's a chop, there's a chop metrics. And actually this doesn't have anything because I only have like 1 or 2 customers that's actually using this. But this is used as a chop metrics chart rather than a United Inches chart. And so this is where you would need to go in and set up your footage based on a frame type, a metrics table rather than United Inches. Okay? All right? And I think that's what they kind of use in Canada mostly. So that's what that's for. Form letters set up. Okay, system headers. These are system-wide headers that I can use. In this is general functions. This is I think this is my purchases catalog, where it's really a way to set up what this customer normally purchases. I'll show you that later in customer file maintenance. These are programs that you can customize to fit your needs. And this is business types that you can customize to fit your needs. Okay? I'll show you that a little later, but this is where you can control your custom sales call headers. Okay? And you'll have like user defaults. So each user would be able to go in and set up user defaults here at this point, which are, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but this is where you can set that up. And also this is where you would set up your private default printers, for example. And this is the global, which normally is set up at the main computer. But if a user, for example, has a printer on their computer that nobody else has, then they could go in and set up their own private default printer, so that when you're printing work tickets, it defaults to that work order ticket. Well, I could have just pulled that up and showed you. Let's just do that. You see how you can set up your work order printer defaults, okay? In this case, I've got a Canon here, and in my invoice, I would default it to the Canon as well. In my chop labels, normally you would set that to a Zebra printer, which I don't have. And same thing with shipping labels. And then I would just click apply, and then that would save that on a global basis, so that works across the whole global network for all users. And again, if I were doing a private, then this is gonna be the setup for me as a user, unique to me, that no one else would be seeing. Okay. Now notice here that I did apply this, but I need to save all. If I don't, then it's not saving it back. If I was to try to quit, the program is saying, hey, changes made during this session. Are you sure? If I answer yes, it's not going to save the changes. So I need to answer no, and then come here and click Save All and go ahead and save that back to my SQL database. Okay? And that works the same way throughout the system. For example, if I were to go into customer file maintenance, for example, and if I was to make a change to this guy, and then I applied it, well, I haven't saved anything back until I click Save All. So I can actually, edit another customer. See? Okay. And then I've actually made changes to 2 different customers, but nothing's been saved back to the database until I click Save All. Okay? So I'm not going to save those changes. So I'm just going to quit. And the program's, again, is telling me, hey, you made changes. Are you sure you want to quit without saving? I'm answering, yes, I do. Okay? Well, this video's getting kind of long, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one. That's kind of give you a little bit of a background of how the catalog and vendor works with an inventory item. Just check out as each video is going to be more detailed into each one of these functions. So that pretty much concludes this video. Hey, thanks for watching.